Busch Gardens is making a brand new expansion to an area of the park that no one's been in for the past 5 years. But what if I told you that wasn't the biggest news for Busch Gardens in 2025?
But I think for the future, it's time to go bigger and faster. So maybe that's what we are.
See, with this year at Busch Gardens, there are so many big unknowns. And so as I enter the park, there's 3 things I need answers on. Looks like our ride is here. I'm going into the construction site of Wild Oasis, Busch Gardens' newest addition, to find out everything that's coming in 2025. Afterwards, I'm going to find out and speculate what's going on with the 2 roller coasters in this park that are standing but not operating. What are the next steps for these iconic roller coasters? And lastly, I want to find out, with the addition of Wild Oasis, what does this mean for the rumored Busch Gardens Giga? Is that still even a possibility? Golf carts are so much better than walking on foot.
So Wild Oasis comes spring of 2025. It's North America's most immersive, kid-friendly adventure realm there is that you're going to see. There are great attractions as far as interactive play areas, but we're also going to recreate a brand new drop tower experience.
I'm super excited to announce some of the new animals that we are welcoming to Wild Oasis. Capybaras, squirrel monkeys, and a variety of tropical birds.
I know as we exit from here, we're going to do a hard hat tour, so I think we're going to have some folks that are going to gather everyone together, and we have a good chance to get some first looks at this great adventure realm that we're about to do. Thank you, everybody.
That was a lot more information than I expected. There's a lot of things coming to this area with the brand new drop tower, the animals, and several new attractions like the splash pad and the climbing areas. This is going to be a really, really cool thing. So let's go behind the scenes. Let's go on this construction site. But this hat won't do. I'm going to need one of these. Okay, we're climbing up right now. I believe this is one of the treetop areas. My favorite part about these tours is we're on an active construction site. I mean, all around us, like, this is not finished yet. And it's just so cool. It's like I feel like I'm not supposed to be here. It's awesome. So this is where a swinging bridge is going to be, pretty much right here. And it goes across the Wild Oasis all the way to the other side. It's like so sick. I love how this place is like intertwined with itself. Really cool little side note is, like, check out that little light over there. It's like not even strung up yet. This goes back to what I was saying about us being in an active construction zone. These events are always so much fun. But after being walked through the construction site of Wild Oasis, I have some questions. These are very tall towers for a kids area, you know, for a play area. It's a pretty big climbing structure. We're really high up. So how tall are these towers?
I think for me the most exciting of the play spaces is all of the climbing. So we've got our climbing towers. One is over here. This is going to be a spiral net climb. And then we've got our other climbing tower over here. These are the 2 that are about 45 feet tall. One of the kind of scarier pieces is the sky deck pinnacle. And so you can kind of see that those beams are angling straight out at like a 45-degree angle. So you'll be able to climb out on those beams from 40 feet up in the air and kind of look down at all of the Wild Oasis below you. So I've been up there. It makes you a little bit nervous, but it's very cool.
This closed during COVID and it was a popular area of the park. I mean, kids loved it. And with it coming back, it brings up the question of what's new and what's coming back from the Giga we knew and loved 5 years ago.
We definitely inherited a lot of existing stuff. We didn't want to totally reinvent the wheel. When Giga opened, I think in 2008, it was really popular, really well designed. But some of the things, as you know, we're kind of at end of life, like all the netting, we had to replace that. So we're trying to bring that back and sort of put a little bit of a twist. So the play styles at each one of the netting areas are a little bit different. Putting up ramps or cargo nets, and there's like another little kind of mini scavenger hunt that's over in that section as well. Interactivity on the splash pad. There were components of it there in the original project, but I don't think a lot of people knew about it. So we're trying to bring those a little bit more forward. There's definitely a lot of new things to be excited about.
And then is this an area just for kids, or can adults or people like myself who aren't really kids play in this area?
Yeah, anyone can go up in the nets. Yeah, all ages.
Sweet, I wanted to climb.
Yes.
Well, I wanted to know if I could go on it.
Since it's for everyone of all ages, how accessible is it? What is Busch Gardens doing with this area to make it accessible to everyone?
One of the things that's kind of nice about this project is that this second level that we're walking on right now, there's actually an elevator over there, which makes this whole second level accessible to guests in wheelchairs, so they can also sort of get a canopy type experience and participate in almost all of the rainforest quest scavenger hunt stations, so the ones on the ground and the ones here on the second level. So the accessibility is really nice in this attraction.
I also want to know a little bit of the specifics of this drop tower.
How's it going? My name is Tony Perry. I'm project manager here at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay and on this Wild Oasis project. On this ride, we will have 2 large video screens, each facing riders as they're on the ride. So similar to what we did on our Phoenix Rising attraction last year.
Oh man. Woo. All right.
Those screens will be playing different movies. We do have onboard lighting, onboard audio, and I will get out of your way if you'd like to take pictures or, you know, any questions or anything like that.
Anthony.
Yes, sir.
I don't think you should have been so eager to get out of the way. We all know you enhance the view of the drop tower.
Thank you so much, Brian.
What's the theming like?
Lasers.
Oh.
We are installing lasers on this ride, so we're up in the technological game here at Busch Gardens Tampa.
Right.
But we will have thematic vines that'll be draped down, lasers, and the rock work's getting completely restored as part of this as well. So it'll look more vegetated in its final state.
Is there going to be a story?
There are stories yet to be released, and we're very excited about right now. But yeah, there will be 3 different stories.
They said there's screens. What are those screens gonna play?
Videos will start when the ride starts and end when the ride ends, so they will be the full duration of the ride. The video locations are within that opening there, facing that side, and then we'll be constructing a similar size screen on this side facing these riders.
Is this the same drop tower from 5 years ago, or is this completely new?
The ride bench, even the topper is getting completely removed. The central column is getting completely reconstructed on the inside, all new benches, seating, everything. Right now it's about 35 feet to the top of where the riders are.
And then this path that we're walking on right now provides great viewpoints of this drop tower. Is this gonna stay, or is this just a maintenance I'm thinking about parents. You know, you let your kid go on the ride, but the kid wants to know that mom is still watching and recording on her phone for her Instagram story. These are things that need to be thought about.
This whole tour that you guys are doing right now, the second level, this will all exist. This was part of the nice part of being a parent in Jungala experience, right? The parents can walk this area while the kids are climbing above and around and below. So this will be preserved. That window there will have the screen, but other than that, this will all be open.
What is your favorite part, or what you're most anticipating with the Wild Oasis?
So I think for me, Wild Oasis is just, it's not one thing, it's everything. I think when we try to do projects, you want to encompass everybody. You want to be able to create a ride or create an attraction that everyone can enjoy. So I think for me, having the water area, having an animal, multi-species habitat, having the drop tower, just be able to create environment and a space for everybody. So for me, it's just this entire realm, what I'm excited about.
And so with Phoenix Rising last year, you guys have been taking some pretty big steps to accommodate everyone, especially those family, younger thrill seekers.
Yes.
What does that mean for the future of Busch Gardens?
I think, obviously we want to incorporate everyone on what we do. And I think, like you said, with Phoenix Rising, last year's a great attraction. Oh, I love it. And then with Wild Oasis, opening in the spring. I think it's an opportunity. What we've been able to do is allow families to really enjoy the park. That's what we want to do as part of Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. But I think for the future, it's time to go bigger and faster. So maybe that's what we are.
That's what I was looking to hear. Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, man.
I think, honestly, I came into it not expecting much, but I'm actually pretty excited. Between the drop tower, between the capybaras, I just think this is going to bring a lot of needed life to the back end of the park.
Yeah, and I remember coming here when you were a kid, and you loved this area, so it's another good spot for young kids. Yeah.
Speaking of the back end of the park, though, there is 2 rides back here that are standing but not operating. They've been doing that for a while. So let's go and speculate what's going on with these roller coasters. See, Kumba's been down for a good while now, and we don't really know why. We don't have any answers as to why it went down, and we don't know what's going on with it. With recent speculation, a lot of people are saying that Kumba's gone forever, which makes sense with recent coaster shutdowns happening just out of the blue with no forewarning. It makes sense that people are concerned about Kumba suffering the same fate. We could speculate about all these rumors all we want. I'm gonna say something that might trigger a couple people, because a lot of people really love this ride. And I get it, it's a great ride. It's a wonderful ride. It's thrilling, it's intense, it's fun. It's got one of the most iconic photo spots of all time. Deep down, I kind of hope Kumba gets ripped out. Oh! See, even on the busiest of days, Kumba never has a line. I could jump onto this ride when the park is at capacity and ride this like 20 times. And with that, if they rip this out, it means something bigger, better, and faster,
Time to go bigger and faster. So maybe that's what
like Eric said, could be taking its place. I just think we shouldn't be scared of the idea of ripping out something old, as good as it is, for something possibly better. That's all I have to say. Now let's talk about Scorpion. In the past, when Busch Gardens announced that they're ripping out a coaster for good, like Sand Serpent just across the way, they demolished it. They go forward with that action pretty fast. But Scorpion's been a different story. This ride, we haven't seen any movement on except for, well, the ride sign. The ride sign's gone, and that's all the progress we've seen. And so what's happening to this iconic ride? Is it being ripped out, demolished, never ridden by anyone else again? Is it being refurbished and rethemed? Or is it being sold off to another park? There's been a guy in the amusement industry, his name's Gene Staples. Pretty much this guy, Gene Staples, what he does is he buys these old Schwarzkopf roller coasters and preserves them, extending their lifeline, keeping these pieces of roller coaster history alive for many more generations to enjoy. Mr. Staples has a decent amount of properties, and I don't see why he wouldn't buy this beloved roller coaster and put it in one of those parks. Well, let's talk about a roller coaster way bigger than Scorpion or Kumba could ever be. The one that I think Eric was hinting at. Something bigger, something faster. Let's talk about it.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Dude, Giga.
It's not a Giga.
I can't stop thinking about what Eric told me. Bigger and faster. I thought he was gonna avoid my question, to be very honest. I can't believe he answered, let alone answered like that. What type of attraction would be bigger and faster? What I do know for a fact is Busch Gardens got the permits to use a 310-foot. With the possible removal of Kumba in the back of the park, that opens up a lot of space. But honestly, who cares about the next roller coaster when we're getting capybaras?